Welcome to the first of the studio series, which is going to be very informal. I will not be talking to the camera as much as I do in my podcast, but I did want to just pop on here and say hello. And my name is Lindsay, and we're going to be working on a lot of different things in this episode. So I have polymer clay paintings I need to get done. I have some wood pieces that I'm going to be painting. I have a miniature that's right here in front of me that I'm always excited to grab because I love it so much. And I got up not too long ago. I stole Adam's mug that I got him for Christmas. It's from Stonehouse Pottery, I believe is the name. It's beautiful. It's a hand-thrown mug. So I'm working on this, and it is, I have a few you would have seen. Where are they? I keep losing everything today. Couldn't find my pencil earlier, but I'm working on this series of drawings that are very heavy. This is a very personal, very heavy project, and I am trying not to put a lot of weight on myself when I'm working on it. But like this one I've redone twice, and it's not all the way done. I had to take a break from it. I drew Juniper yesterday and I really was happy with it yesterday, and this morning I'm not so happy. And then this one is a loon and I'm not happy with it again. Maybe I should dedicate a sketch page to each of these cards, because that's what they'll hopefully be one day. Maybe I should dedicate a sketch page to each of these cards before putting them onto my little templates that I have cut out, because I don't know, I'm having a hard time. There is definitely a part of me that keeps on saying that I'm not ready for a project like this. I've never done this big of a scale as far as a project goes. I've never let myself take on something that had a lot of meaning to me, and I still want to pursue this, but like I'm having to work through so many insecurities while I'm working on this, because like, you know, starting from how many different drawings I'm doing of this loon as an example, every time I'm like, okay, that's not going to work, I'm switching to the next one, I'm trying to clock it as like a failure. It's like, okay, well, you failed at that loon, you failed at that drawing, so why would you be able to do the next one? You know what I mean? But I also, on the other hand, know my brain. At some point, it will click, and I will be happy that I did this. And it's starting to click a little bit. Like, I thought I was getting it right here, and then I moved over here, and I'm like, oh wait, this is so much better. So like now this one looks so inadequate. And that's, you know, that's the goal, like going through all of these, like starting with the low pressure sketches that, and ending hopefully with something more along this line where it's like, I'm not a realism artist, but like somewhere in between realism, illustrative. It's been really hard, especially knowing that this is a series that's going to have between 40 and 50 illustrations. There's a part of me that's so production driven that it's like, well, you can't finish this in 2 weeks. You can't probably finish this in 2 years. So like, what's the point? And that's kind of part of what this project is supposed to do, is like help me overcome that. Like, I'm doing it to myself. No one is telling me to do this. This is something that's important to me, that I want to do. I've never done it before. I'm pushing myself really hard, mentally and emotionally, to do it. But I'm finally happy with how this last sketch is starting to look. So I think it's starting to click, and it didn't even take that long. Like, I've only been doing this for maybe 30 minutes. So yeah, a lot of this is going to be also forcing myself to trust myself a little bit more through my own artistic process. And I know that there are far more benefits to pushing through something like this, like whether it's this project or the next project. I know that this is only going to improve my own art. Did you know that for centuries, women practiced their faith through images and symbols and intuition? And I don't want to say, of course, exclusively, like that was the only way, but during times where the church and men held the most authority, women usually were discouraged from asking questions. So one of the ways that they kind of took back autonomy of their faith was to practice what they knew, which was art or folk medicine, stories, and cards. And this isn't to say that all tarot and all oracle and all types of divination cards are intended for spiritual practice or even to feel closer to God. People use them for all different kinds, for all different kinds of reasons, but in the situation I'm talking about, in the way that it applies to me and connects to me, it was a way that women taught themselves how to trust what institutions told them not to. And I have no desire to be the authority of anyone else's faith or spiritual autonomy. I just want my own back, and it's taken me a really long time to come to terms with how I believe and what I believe, and feeling strong enough to believe differently than others. And there is a Doctor Who episode that hit me so hard. We only watched it one time, and I wish I could remember the name of the lady, but she was a lizard lady, and she said, "Truth is singular." So the conversation that she was having, you could only answer with one word. And that's kind of incredible, in my opinion. I'm a Whovian, okay? Rory is named after Amy and Rory Pond. So we're going to be very nerdy here for a second, but I think in pictures, and I always have. My brain feels like just a big TV screen. So with cards, after I had an episode of faith, I guess, a few weeks ago, that was pretty traumatic, but I talk about it in my other podcast. I realized that I get less tangled whenever something is singular or something is visual. So that's what oracle cards are for me now. And they may be something completely different for someone else, and someone else may hate them. But I'm going to talk about them on my channel. And I hope that even if you don't feel anything for them, like you want nothing to do with them, you can appreciate the artwork. There is no way for anyone to have gotten the full profit that they deserve for the time that they put into these cards. At least the cards that I'm thinking of. I'm sure that there are some cards that are AI generated and all of that. It's really important to me with these that I'm supporting this really gentle, honestly kind of selfless thing that an artist made that they can never be properly paid for. The amount of hours that go into making these decks, whether it's tarot or whether it's oracle or whether it's divination decks or affirmation cards, there's a lot of different names for them. And for those that are afraid of them, it's really not any different than one of those calendar tearaway things that you get like a little quote every day that inspires you or uplifts you for the rest of the day. There's 1,000 million versions of this. So I think what was so damning for these cards in particular, and them being labeled as occult practice, was probably because it was a way for women to take back, and people, it wasn't just women, but primarily it was women at the time, to take back autonomy over something that was trying to be controlled by others. And this is just based on my very limited research, okay? Let's not go crazy and say that Lindsay said this and so it must be true, okay? Lindsay is a very normal girl. All that to say, I have 2 decks that are very precious to me. One was gifted to me by my sister years ago, and it is the one that I use every day. I'll grab it. So this deck is by Faina Laura. She does not have a shop anymore. I have a lot of her artwork around my home, and her artwork is based a lot on Russian folklore, and it just I've always loved it. She is such a sweet human being. I really adore her. And it has no pamphlet. It does not tell you what to think, which is pretty important for people who grew up evangelical. It's not really focusing on me, is it? I think that these can be really healing for people who were told what to think and not to trust themselves their whole life. So that's what they are for me. If that's not what they bring you, or if it's not something positive that something like this brings you, then don't do it. Go find something else that does, you know? But look at all her beautiful works. Let's see if I can get it to focus. I drew this one on Christmas Eve. I was so excited. We have this one hanging by our door. I've drawn this one multiple times and ended up crying one of the times because I realized sort of what it meant to me, how it applied to my life. And all of this was done through my own reflection, okay? Like, you don't have to be scared. It's a way to... Someone said to me that the reason that cards work for everyone is that they cast a wide net that applies to anyone. That's why they can be seen as magic. And that's not how I see them, but yeah, that is kind of true. They talk about things that the human brain, the human body and soul, that all of us deal with, and it's just a way to kind of compress everything into one word, into one truth for you to focus on for that day. Does that make sense? Anyway, this is my new deck, and I have an unboxing video for you because it is beautiful. It is so beautiful. This one does come with a booklet, but yeah, and Rory kind of opened it with me, and she was also just enchanted by the artwork, which you'll see. But yeah, that's all I'll talk about with these guys for now, but I'm really happy to finally feel brave enough to connect with God in a way that comforts me instead of scares me. I got a new deck of cards, but look what I found as one of the cards in it.
so tiny.
It's so tiny. Isn't it beautiful?
This one mine now.
You can't take it.
It's so cute.
I'll see if I can find the print of it in her shop and let you get it.
Ooh, a mermaid.
Yeah, aren't they beautiful? A lady painted every single one of these. These are all her paintings. Ooh, look at this pretty lady.
Ooh.
I like this one.
I prefer another one. Ooh. She's pretty.
Look at Cat.
No. That's not, that should not be alive.
Well, it's just cute. Ooh, moth.
Oh my. Wait, Anna would love this.
Yeah, she would.
And I love this.
What is that one?
The blood moon.
The blood moon?
And this.
The cardinal? Look,
Yes.
it's another little kitty.
I'm gonna keep the moth one out.
You're
for
not
Anna.
keeping any of them. Oh, you want to show Anna? Look, there's some horses.
I love this one.
What's that one say?
The
Hypno?
Should she be here soon?
Yes. I should probably go get ready. This just came and I wanted to see it. Look, there's
Pegasus.
Pegasus.
Mine. Hey, that one's a kid.
Look at the little kid. There's a couple that are kids. Bye.